Mr. K says, did you see Baldur's Gate guy's acceptance speech at GDC about corporate greed? Yeah, it's just such success bias that he stands up there at the Game Awards. Now he stands up there at the GDC Awards or the DICE. I don't know what it was. It was GDC and DICE maybe. And he just kind of bloviates about, well, here's what you need to do, see?
The stuff that we make at Larian is we ask you to pay one price only for the game, and that's it. You can own it for the rest of your life. We don't have shareholders, but we also don't think about them. And we think there's an expression in Dutch that honesty lasts longest or something. There's probably a version in English as well that makes a lot of sense. But what we have tried in the last 20 years is to treat people like we would like to be treated ourselves as players, as gamers. So we don't make decisions where we think this could make us the most money. On the long run, building a community, building a player base, building games that are actually fun is going to make you the most money. That's it.
You don't need to give in to the corporate pressures, and you don't need to, we turned down DLC because our team's heart wasn't in it, blah, 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 blah. And it's kind of like, look, that is a wonderful story to tell, but you got to give everything. You got to explain that you did used to work for publishers. You did used to have to put up with that with things like Ubisoft when they were publishing some of your games. Eventually, all the stars lined up and you got yourself in a position to fund your own shit and to have a lot of money. Well, yeah, when you're calling the shots, you can do whatever you want to do. And when you get successful, you can rewrite history and say, this is why we were successful. But I don't know about that. I'm not suggesting that, them spending a lot of money on aspects that maybe a traditional publisher would say, we don't want you spending our money on that, did not lead to the success of the great, wonderful Baldur's Gate 3. I'm sure it did. I believe very much that at least in part it absolutely did. But this idea that he is presenting it almost as if see, this is how you do it. We're brave and we took the chances and we threw off the shot. It's like, yeah, because you could. It's not like these people are walking around who don't do that going, I like being in the corporate cubicle world. Come on now.
About stopping the greed, which has been fucking this thing up for so long, ever since I started, I've been fighting with publishers my entire life, so it's like, and I keep on seeing, I keep on seeing the same mistakes over and over and over, and it's always the quarterly profits. The only thing that matters is the numbers, and then you fire everybody, and then, like, next year, you're going to say, shit, I'm out of developers, and you're going to start hiring people again, and then you do acquisitions, and then you put them in the same loop again, and it's just been broken and broken and broken. You don't have to. You just can make reserves, slow down a little bit, slow down on the greed, be resilient, take care of the people, don't lose the institutional knowledge that's been built up in all of those people that you lose every single time, so that you have to go through the same cycle over and over and over.
His comment about the constant loss of institutional knowledge because of layoffs rang true to me. Yeah, sure. But there's nothing brave or interesting about that, Zandatsu. I agree with you. But the idea that short-term profits always are given the top priority, I mean, sure, but we know why that is. He's telling publishers, says what's new, to let developers create their game without corporate greed, pushing them to do things that depreciate the quality of the vision. Yeah, no shit. But that's such a dumb thing to say. If it's not a dumb thing to, it's kind of like being in Cleveland and going and being on the stage and going, I fucking love Cleveland. It's like, of course you're going to get applause. But hey, publishers, let developers do whatever they want and ignore pretty much all of your research and all of your analysis into the market, and they'll have big success. No, more often than not, what it'll be is they'll make some shit that nobody wants to play that's not commercial, and they'll go, what happened? It doesn't, there's a balance there. And I'm sorry, go work in the creative arts and you'll see. The number of people that think they have the next big Willy Wonka golden ticket is staggeringly high compared to the number of people who actually have it and have the capability to turn that ticket in for something valuable. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that, yeah, wouldn't it be great if we lived in a society where capitalism wasn't so pervasive that the minute somebody has a chance to sell their private company to a public company, they usually do? And wouldn't it be great if when they did that, the quality of the titles didn't degrade because the parent company, which is a publicly traded company, are absolute unquestionable slaves to the stockholders, and more importantly, getting the earnings up every 4 months, and thus they will do whatever they have to for that short-term game. Yes, that would be great, but everybody knows that. I mean, no shit. So the only reason this guy could do what he wanted to do is he was footing the bill. You're doing it because you played the capitalist game. You did what Ubisoft wanted, and you made enough money that you could call your own shots. That's the game people are playing. I'm not saying I don't love his game, and I'm not saying I don't love his passion. And one more thing real quick, just to be clear, you are also talking about folks who live in Belgium. At least that's where the company is. Much better health insurance, universal health insurance, better unemployment in terms of benefits, government demands on businesses that lay people off. I'm not knocking that. Trust me, if we could trade in America, I would, or at least have that, what they've got in America, we would, or I would. Most of us would. But a lot of the layoffs have happened here in America. A lot of them have happened at companies that are based in America. And it's this horrible dog-eat-dog capitalism that is the problem. So I agree with this guy, like in terms of wouldn't it be great if? Sure. But I think there's a bigger problem to solve, and then this will just work itself out naturally. But until we do that, greed exists because people are afraid of scarcity. You get sick, your family gets sick, you're fucked in a lot of places in America, in a lot of situations in America. So you pray at the corporate altar so you keep your health insurance and you can take care of your family. To stand up and sort of present this view as advice that we should all just, yeah, it's like, see, this is how you do it. Yeah, just don't, get sick in America, I suppose.